So my state of health when I arrived here at Williams Island, I was coming in from a very stressful job. I had a lot of stress. I came from the banking industry. A lot of a lot of pulling 6 days a week, probably close to like 52 hours a week at the bank. So I came here and I was like, oh, this is very different from banking, but I'll make it work. I came into that. I just came in from a lot of health issues as well. My husband and I were trying to have children, went through some IVF treatments, a lot of hormones. So it was a very emotional journey that we went through. So that's how I came into Williams Island.
And so can you be specific with maybe your weight, your exercise routine, if you had one, and what medications, things like that when you came aboard?
So some of the medications and some of my health of how I came into Williams Island is being that I had just tried to lose weight to help better my chances of conceiving through IVF. It was in a better situation. Wasn't going to say that I was like in prime health. I was still overweight. When I was going on my journey before getting here, I was pretty much obese. I was close to 200 pounds, if not just tipping that 200-pound mark. I was on metformin because of trying to regulate my sugar and everything, trying to suppress my appetite as well. So I was on that medication. I was not very active. I was lucky if coming from the banking world that I got any kind of exercise because it was just sitting at a teller window or sitting at my desk to manage my team. So I came here and it was definitely more active, a lot more walking around, a lot more stairs, and I was getting out of breath just doing that. So it was quite different for me, and I would get home super tired because of that. And it kind of opened my mind to like, man, I should do a change. Something has to happen. So with my infertility struggles and my new job environment, in that whole time, my starting here in Williams Island also led me to my start of being a foster parent, which ended up leading me to be an adoptive parent, which now I have 3 wonderful kids. 6, 5, and 4 years old, so I do have still a lot on my hands, but it led me to really have to take responsibility not just for them, but really to take responsibility for myself and my health to make sure that I am there for them in the long run.
So what was your changing point, the light bulb over your head for food, for exercise, and your well-being?
So the biggest change that I had to go through and what really clicked to get me to make a change in my health was back in 2018. Carrie had started the half marathon, Miami half marathon training. And I was like, oh, well, I've always thought maybe I could do some kind of running. I've always envisioned myself in my dreams that I can go and run and I would be super fast and super good at it. So when the training came in, I had asked Carrie if this was something that I can participate in, and of course with open arms she said yes. And we started a team which started out with probably like 10 members and myself, and that kind of just kicked me on to this journey. Some members dropped, the group kept getting smaller, and at the end I was the lone wolf on this journey. I'm like, man, what am I getting myself into? But after doing the running and really getting into it, I felt better. I was more energized after those runs. It was painful after the runs, not going to say that it wasn't a lot of work, but I felt accomplished at the end, and every day I looked forward to the next week of training.
And so in addition to exercise, when did the change of food, because we know it's not only about exercising, which is great for your internal body, but when did the food change start to happen?
So along with getting into the running, I also made a change in my food and my dieting. because it's not all about exercise. You can exercise till you're blue in the face, but if you don't change what goes into your body, it's not going to make a difference. And I learned that by, I really need to just really dig in and say, I need to make a change in what I'm eating, because obviously the running and the cardio is not doing it alone. So at the end of 2020, I decided, okay, let's make a change in my diet and really learn the right way to eat and incorporate good nutrition into myself. I did go on a eating plan to help me learn those ways. Very strict diets, very low caloric, but still had all my nutrients and vitamins. I went away with a lot of my carbs, a lot of potatoes, a lot of rice was all out of my diet, white, lots of vegetables, and lots of measured protein. I measured out all of my dishes for a good 6 months, and in those 6 months, I've learned how to have a healthy eating style, a healthy eating habit, built those core values into myself, which I can go now and take on to anything that I do. And in that time frame, lost 40 pounds.
And what else have you done with your exercise program? Did you add weights, any kind of strength training?
So in addition to changing my diet and just doing the running and cardio, I did incorporate a weekly routine, which would incorporate weights to help burn additional fat and build muscle mass to help even out all of my numbers, because now I was losing the weight, but I didn't want to have hanging skin and just be droopy. So what I wanted to do was tone more. So I started doing weights twice a week, still incorporated my running 3 times a week, and I had some time to rest and to recover from all of that, as well as increasing my intake of water, because water is very important to kind of flush all the toxins out. So I've gained a whole new meaning and aspect to nutrition and health and wellness altogether. It's not just working out and being in the gym every day. It's also making sure that you are eating right, hydrating, and staying mentally well as physically and internally.